Have you ever felt that chill down your spine seconds before sharing an idea, posting something online, or simply expressing who you truly are? That anxiety that whispers doubts, imagining how others will react, what they'll think, whether they'll approve or criticize. Perhaps you know all too well the paralyzing weight of a negative comment, capable of collapsing your confidence as if it were a delicate house of cards, built with so much effort and brought down by someone else's breath. This incessant search for external validation, for a nod of approval that never seems to arrive or, when it does, never fully satisfies, is one of the heaviest chains we can carry, undermining our peace and preventing us from treading our own path with authenticity. To live like this, with your self-esteem at the mercy of what others say or think, is like handing over control of your own worth to an unpredictable and often indifferent popular jury. The result? A life of hesitation, of opportunities, lost to the fear of judgment and a persistent feeling that something fundamental is missing, the freedom to be who you are, without apology or permission. But what if I told you there's a way to build an inner fortress, an impenetrable refuge within your own mind, where your self-esteem isn't defined by applause or criticism, but by solid principles and virtues cultivated by you? This fortress is not a distant dream, but an accessible reality through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. A philosophy forged in practice by men and women who faced empires, exiles, and the same internal battles we fight today. They discovered and bequeathed to us the keys to build exactly this mental citadel, a place where your worth is self-affirmed, unshakable in the face of the storms of others' opinions. In this video, we will unearth these ancient secrets and transform them into practical tools for your daily life. Prepare to discover how to become truly immune to what others think, not through arrogance or cold indifference, but through a profound understanding of where your true self-esteem lies. Let's explore together how you can erect, step by step, your own Stoic Fortress, an internal sanctuary that will allow you to navigate life with more courage, authenticity, and a peace of mind that no external validation can buy, nor any criticism can steal. If you're ready to reclaim your inner power and build a sense of worth that no one else can define or destroy, stay with me, because the journey to your emotional freedom begins now. But after all, why do we care so much? Why does another person's opinion, often someone we barely know, have the power to lift our spirits or throw us into a pit of insecurity? To untie this knot, we need to look at our deepest roots, both as social beings and as individuals. Since the dawn of humanity, belonging to a group was synonymous with survival. Being accepted, approved of, and valued by the tribe meant protection, access to resources, and chances to prosper. This instinct to seek approval and fear rejection is, in a way, engraved in our social DNA. In the modern world, although physical survival no longer depends so directly on the constant approval of our immediate tribe, this ancestral programming persists. It manifests in how we monitor likes on social media, in the anxiety we feel before an important presentation, or in the discomfort when expressing an unpopular opinion. Society, with its countless mirrors, media, culture, family, and professional expectations, constantly sends us messages, direct or subtle, about how we should be, what we should have, and how we should behave to be considered successful or acceptable. This external pressure is the fuel for the tyranny of others' opinions. The great problem with this dependence is that it places us in an incredibly vulnerable position. When our happiness and sense of worth fluctuate according to the thermometer of others' opinions, we live on a constant emotional roller coaster. Praise elevates us to the clouds, criticism sinks us into despair. This internal instability not only sabotages our peace of mind, but also suffocates our authenticity. How many times have we refrained from pursuing a dream, expressing a passion, or making a decision we felt was right, purely out of fear of what others would say or think. This constant self-censorship is the silent price we pay for seeking validation in the wrong places. And it is here that the penetrating wisdom of the Stoics begins to illuminate a way out. Philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius looked at this issue of reputation and others' opinions with disconcerting clarity. For them, what others think or say about us belongs to the category of external things, that is, things that are fundamentally outside our direct control. And if something is outside our control, why should we allow it to disturb our inner tranquility or define our worth? They teach us that our essence, our character, and our virtuous actions are the only domains where our power truly resides and, consequently, our true self-esteem. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, reflected in his Meditations, "How strange is the behavior of men! They are unwilling to praise their contemporaries and fellow citizens, but they set great value on the praise of posterity, of people they have never seen nor ever will see." He pointed to the irony and futility of basing our tranquility on the approval of others. Epictetus, in turn, was even more direct, questioning, if someone were to entrust your body to the first person they met on the road, you would be indignant. Yet you hand over your mind to the first person who comes along, so that if they insult you, it becomes disturbed and confused. Are you not ashamed of this? This Stoic perspective does not suggest we become recluses or insensitive. The crucial point is the distinction. Feedback can be useful for our growth, but the emotional approval or disapproval of others should not be the foundation of our self-esteem. The tyranny of others' opinions only has power over us because we grant it that power. The Stoics invite us to revoke this grant, to bring the focus back inward, to our internal court, where our values and principles are the only judges that truly matter. Realize, then, that this need for approval transforms into a true tyranny when not consciously managed. The Stoics show us that genuine freedom lies not in controlling what others think, an impossible task, but in cultivating a rational and selective indifference to opinions that do not contribute to our virtue and tranquility. This conscious choice is the first step to dismantling the tyranny of others' opinions and starting to build something much more solid and lasting in its place. If the tyranny of others' opinions is an external prison, the Stoic response is the construction of an internal fortress. Imagine this fortress not as a castle of cold stones, but as your own mind, carefully cultivated and fortified by principles and virtues. This is your Stoic fortress, an inner sanctuary where your self-esteem does not depend on the storms of the external world, but on the solidity of your own character structure. Unlike fragile self-esteem that seeks validation in fleeting praise or material achievements, Stoic self-esteem is forged from elements entirely under your control. It is based on the quality of your intentions, the integrity of your actions, and your dedication to living according to your deepest values, such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. It is a self-esteem that flourishes not from what you have or what others think of you, but from who you choose to be in each moment. The Stoics teach us that the genuine worth of an individual lies not in the external results of their efforts, but in the virtuous effort itself. An archer, for example, can control their preparation, their stance, and their aim, but not the wind. Their merit lies in the flawless execution of what was up to them, not necessarily in hitting the bullseye every time. Similarly, in our lives, the final outcome, be it success or failure, does not define our intrinsic worth. Our dignity and self-esteem are built in the arena of our own character. It is this understanding that forms the foundation of our inner fortress. This shift in focus from seeking external validation to cultivating internal excellence is profoundly liberating. When your self-esteem is anchored in your own character, you become the primary architect of your sense of worth. No one can take away your good intentions, your courage, or your honesty. It's like having a pure water spring within yourself, instead of depending on others' wells. Think of the difference between an actor who defines himself by the audience's applause and an actor who defines himself by his dedication to his craft. The former will live in anguish, while the latter will find satisfaction in the act of creating with integrity. The Stoic mindset invites us to be this second type of actor in all areas of our lives. Therefore, the foundations of your Stoic fortress are built on the recognition that the only thing that truly belongs to you and defines your worth is your capacity for choice, your prohairesis, as the Stoics would say, the moral faculty that allows us to choose how to react, how to act, and what kind of person we want to become. By focusing on improving this capacity, you are laying indestructible bricks for your inner citadel. With the foundations established, it's time to build the walls that will protect this inner citadel. These walls are made of consistent Stoic practices. The first and perhaps most powerful of these is the radical application of the dichotomy of control. Let's recall this fundamental principle. Some things are under our control, others are not. Our thoughts, judgments, and actions are in our power. What others think, feel, or say is outside our control. Applying this radically means accepting that others' opinions are an indifferent external when it comes to your virtue and tranquility. Think of the freedom this brings. Why spend your precious mental energy worrying about something that by nature is uncontrollable? By truly internalizing this distinction, you withdraw the power that others' opinions have over you. The next great wall is the development of and trust in your internal judge. The Stoics teach us that the only approval we truly need is our own, when we act in accordance with reason and virtue. Cultivating this internal judge means clearly defining your core values: honesty, compassion, courage, justice. Once these values are clear, they become your North Star. Instead of asking, "What will others think?" ask yourself, "Is this aligned with who I want to be?" This practice radically transforms your source of validation. Instead of looking outwards, you turn inwards to your own council of sages, your Stoic principles. Another powerful practice to lessen the emotional impact of criticism is Premeditatio Malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Applied to our topic, this means anticipating the possibility of facing judgments or criticism. This isn't an exercise in pessimism, but a form of mental vaccination. By dedicating a few moments to calmly contemplate that you might be criticized, you prepare yourself internally. You reduce the surprise factor. This practice also allows you to prepare your responses beforehand. If you anticipate that an action might generate controversy, you can reflect, "If this happens, how would I like to react? How can I use this as an opportunity to practice patience or clarity?" This mental preparation equips you with an action plan, instead of leaving you at the mercy of an impulsive reaction. Finally, to seal the walls of your inner fortress, the Stoics offer us a transformative perspective, Amor Fati, which translates to love of fate. This doesn't mean passive resignation, but a radical acceptance and even an embracing of everything that fate brings us, including the opinions and judgments of others. Instead of fighting against the fact that someone criticized you, you can choose to accept this reality as part of the fabric of life. Amor Fati invites us to find value and even beauty in everything that happens, treating each moment as necessary. Unjust criticism can be a chance to practice fortitude and serenity. Praise can be a chance to practice humility. This attitude of embracing whatever comes is the final seal of your immunity. Once you begin to consistently live from your inner fortress, a profound and liberating transformation begins. The first and most palpable benefit is an overwhelming sense of freedom. The freedom to be who you truly are, without the constant weight of self-censorship. Along with this freedom, a peace of mind blossoms that previously seemed unattainable. The constant noise of social anxiety begins to diminish, replaced by a serene calm. Authenticity becomes your new compass. You feel safe to align your actions with your deepest values, and with freedom, peace, and authenticity comes a new and powerful form of courage. The courage to take calculated risks, to stand up for what is right, and to be authentically vulnerable, knowing your inner fortress won't be shaken. The quality of your decisions improves exponentially. Free from the need to please or the fear of displeasing, you can analyze situations with much more clarity and objectivity. In relationships, the transformation is equally profound. When you no longer seek from others the validation you've already found within yourself, your interactions become healthier and more balanced. You become a more present and stable partner, friend, or colleague. The pursuit of purpose also gains a new dimension. By freeing yourself from the tyranny of others' opinions, you gain space to listen to your inner voice more clearly and to pursue goals that resonate with your soul. Finally, living as the sovereign of your fortress allows you to handle life's inevitable ups and downs with much greater resilience. Even with the walls of your fortress erected, the outside world will continue to send its messengers. Some will bring criticism, others praise. The true test of your Stoic immunity lies in how you receive and process these messages. Let's start with criticism. When criticism arrives, the first step is to pause. Avoid the immediate defensive reaction. Next, examine the criticism with the objectivity of an impartial detective. Ask yourself, is there any truth to this? Is there any feedback here I can use for my improvement? If you find a grain of truth, accept it gratefully as a learning opportunity. The wise man, Seneca said, rejoices in being corrected. However, if the criticism is unfounded or malicious, here your fortress must prove impenetrable. There's no need to wear yourself out. Remember your internal judge. If you've acted according to your principles, another person's mistaken opinion doesn't diminish your worth. Now, what about praise? The Stoics also warn us about its subtle danger. Just like criticism, praise is an external opinion. If you become dependent on it to feel good, your self-esteem remains vulnerable. When receiving praise, acknowledge the kindness, but don't let it inflate your ego. True Stoic mastery in dealing with the world's feedback lies in treating each as valuable training material for your virtues. Unjust criticism, an opportunity to practice patience. Sincere praise, a chance to exercise humility. View every external opinion not as a verdict on your worth, but as a dumbbell in life's gym to strengthen your character. Ultimately, the Stoic always returns to their command center, their inner fortress. Ask yourself, regardless of what was said, did I act virtuously? If the answer is yes, then you can move forward with a clear conscience. Opinions come and go like ocean waves, but your inner citadel, built on the rock of your principles, that endures. And so, we reach the end of our exploration. We've walked a path that led us from understanding the tyranny of external approval to building solid self-esteem, anchored in your own principles and virtues. You've discovered that you no longer need to live as a hostage to the world's judgments, but that you can erect an impenetrable inner citadel. The Stoic practices we've shared are the bricks and mortar of this powerful construction. Always remember, true self-esteem isn't something you find outside, but something you cultivate within. It's the result of your daily commitment to living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Becoming immune to opinions doesn't mean coldly shutting yourself off from the world, but rather opening yourself to life with serene confidence. You hold the keys to your own fortress. Now it's your task to keep it strong, and to live as the sovereign of your own inner kingdom. And for this transformation to truly take root, I invite you to take a practical step today. Identify one area of your life where you feel you still seek too much external validation. It could be at work, in relationships, or even in how you present yourself on social media. Choose one of the principles or one of the techniques we discussed here and commit to applying it in that area for the next week. Observe the changes, feel the growing freedom, and to continue receiving a constant flow of practical Stoic wisdom designed to help you build not just a fortress, but a life of meaning and resilience. I strongly encourage you to subscribe here to the Modern Stoic channel. It's quick, it's free, and it's your passport to more transformative content like this. Also, hit that notification bell because we have much more prepared for you. We really want to know, what was the most powerful insight you gained from this video? Or which practice are you most motivated to implement in your life? Share with us in the comments below. Your feedback and experiences enrich our community. And of course, if there are other challenges of modern life for which you'd like a Stoic perspective, suggest topics for our future videos. We read and value every suggestion. Thank you for dedicating your time to this journey. Remember, your inner fortress is your greatest asset. Take good care of it. Until next time.